With the latest introduction to the Strata series, are you ready to join the club? Hi, it's Ad from Gear4music on the Gear4music drum page, and once again, as always, I'm joined by the bastion of hitting things really fast and hard. It's Jamie Fisher. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Good, how you doing?
I'm pretty great because we have a brand new addition to the Strata series in the house. Now, obviously, let's get it out of the way. Like, subscribe, make sure you're always subscribed so you can get the first of content like this. As we say, this brand new addition to the Strata series. Jamie, tell me about the Strata Club.
Great, thanks Adam. Strata Club, yes, the brand new member of the Strata family. So what that means is that you've got the best sounds and you've got the BFD library on board, but you've got an even more accessible price point here and a smaller footprint. So we can talk about the kit in more detail, but really the message with this kit is it's a 4-piece kit, one up, one down, and it's built for swinging and grooving and laying it down. That's what it's all about.
As all things in a club are.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, as you can see here on camera and the above camera as well, this is quite a small kit in terms of the space it's taking up. Now, the Alesis Strata series has been incredibly popular for us. You've gone from the Prime, which is the flagship, huge, your 11-piece kit with all your different bits and bobs. Then the Core that was introduced this year, past year, which was equally popular, slightly downsized a little, but now we have, as you say, the most accessible here. So tell me, it's based on a club kit.
Yep.
So what are the decisions that have been made, you know, for snare size, rack size? I mean, obviously these are smaller, but it still boasts the same features as anything else in the Strata range, right? It
does, absolutely. Yeah. So you've got a 4-piece kit here. We've got a 12-inch dual zone snare drum, two 10-inch dual zone toms. We've got a triple zone 14-inch ride cymbal, which is the same ARC 360 triggering system that we use on all the Strata kits, including the Core and the Prime. So a 14-inch triple zone ride cymbal, 12-inch triple zone crash cymbal, and a 12-inch hi-hat system. Again, the same, exactly the same ARC hi-hat system you get on the other Prime kits. So, and you've got an 8-inch bass drum tower here as well, a mesh-headed bass drum tower, so you can get a double pedal on there, no problem. And a slightly smaller rack than the Core, so a smaller footprint all round.
Yeah, but I mean, something that isn't smaller in this sense is it is still the same Strata module that comes with the Core.
That's correct.
Consequently,
exactly the same.
being well, consequently means you've still got the incredible BFD sounds in there, the big touch screen on there as well, all your different Q links, all your transport controls on top, and expandability.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. So you can, Adam's exactly right. So you've got exactly the same module you get on the Core, which means you've got 370 sounds, BFD sounds and some electronic sounds in there from the Strike multipad library. And you've got 75 preset drum kits. And the kit is expandable, as you've said, absolutely. So you can add extra sounds to the module if you want to. You can import your own WAV sounds, and you can add extra triggers to the kit. Crucially, you can add extra triggers as well. So in addition to what you see here, you've got scope to add another 4 pads into it. So you've got quite a lot of scope to make this kit bigger as you need to. Yeah,
so it really is kind of like, I think the beauty of this, so when we got sent it through originally, I kind of was like, why are they doing another one? Which sounds ridiculous. Of course they're going to do another one. But I think the good thing about this is they've not just gone, well, let's just do another one that's kind of like smaller for a reason. Everything has kind of been thought out. And I think another thing about this is, obviously the size, so the portability, you're able to take this to gigs and stuff. But actually something that we will hopefully be putting some B-roll in is the fact that because it's small, you're really easily able to set this up with just some like clamps on additional stands. So if you've got a 4-piece kit at home with, one crash, one ride, you should be able to just kind of like get a clamp and attach these to it. So really you can just swap your acoustic kit out with your electric kit.
You absolutely,
pretty easily.
You totally can. So the message here is that these are 360-degree cymbals. They don't need any rotation stoppers or anything, and they will go on normal cymbal stands, no problem. And these are regular size clamps. So it's quite easy to find multi-clamps that you can clamp to a cymbal stand that you can attach the toms to. So if you have 2 cymbal stands, then you put one here with the cymbal and the rack tom, one over here with the floor tom and the ride cymbal, and then you don't need to use the rack, and you can put them wherever you like. So you can easily integrate this sort of technology with your existing hardware as well, so giving you the flexibility. So for example, you might like to have this kit set up as it is at home, and then if you want to do a practice or a gig or something like that somewhere else, you just take a couple of cymbal stands, take the pads off, take the module with you, and then you can leave the rack at home if you want to. It's very flexible, but the important thing to know is that these are universally compatible with cymbal stands, so you don't need to worry about any extra hardware. You just use your cymbal stands.
Yeah, and you're saving a lot of space with that. Even if you're rocking around with a cocktail kit, comparative to the size of the pads, because, you know, with some other club style electronic kits, they go for the, you know, we'll say quote unquote realism of the bigger shells. Yeah, it's great for a point, but also, as I say, portability and the size and necessity, having this kind of like depth as well. You know,
it's really easy. You can easily put these 3 drums, for example, in a tom case. You might even find a tom case deep enough to put all of the cymbals and all the drums in one case. But if you've got a couple of tom cases knocking around, you can easily put this pad set into those 2 tom cases, and then away you go.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that you kind of have to consider would be the module stand.
Yes, well the module, basically, the module mounts onto this bar here. So my advice there is if you do want to use an alternative mounting system than the rack, then you can get a clamp which clamps onto your hi-hat stand, which you can then clamp this bar into. You take this bar out of that rack clamp, and then you can just have it mounted on your hi-hat stand. Or you can just have it sitting on something separate as well if you want to, whichever solution suits you.
Yeah, if you want to have it separate, so for example, if you've got like a little in-ear mixer there, you know, if you're doing that. If you're not already using it as, you know, the Strata module as your in-ear system, there's a video that we've done on that, how to use live kits and electronic kits simultaneously. You can go check that out on the YouTube channel with, once again, James Fisher. But I think the really nice thing about this is that it's not a kit for the sake of being a kit, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but also, you know, I can really easily see this kind of sitting in someone's flat.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
It's not loud, it sounds great, and it's not taking up a whole lot of room. I mean, you know, there's so little need to really expand. I mean, you can obviously expand, and the expansion pack's for that, and you know, you might have your own kind of like triggers and stuff like that to go along with it, but what you've got here is a really brilliant and diverse sounding piece of gear. You know, even if you wanted to have an additional tom or something like that, these are dual zones, so you can program. You know, you've still got all the programmability in the module to program, you know, the rim to be something different.
Yep.
You know, you've also, once again, you've got the BFD player, so you'll be able to connect that to a desktop or a laptop or something like that and play with that. So I think it's a really, and it's the most accessible Strata kit so far that we've seen.
It totally is.
And, you know, I think for bang for buck now, it's really hard to get something, you know, as good a quality now.
It's impossible.
And that's saying something, given how, you know, how vast the technology is in this area now.
So let's talk about what it means to buy a Strata kit. So this is the newest family member of the Strata series, but there are some features which are common to all of them, and those features are the best electronic drum kit sound engine you can get, which is BFD3. It's built into this module. You've got the same 7-inch touchscreen that you get in the core, and you've got the same sounds. It's exactly the same module. The sounds are outstanding. We've got the same 360-degree cymbals, so that means that all these cymbals you can play anywhere. And you can choke with your hand, or you can use the pedal in the case of the hi-hat. So if you want to just do some hand tricks with this one, take your foot off the pedal. And you've got 3 zones on the hi-hat. Same with this one. And they are, thank you. And they are super
360.
Exactly. They're really sensitive. So that's one of the things you get with any of the Strata kits. You get the best e-cymbals in the business. We've got this active magnetic system with a nice charming light there you can see.
Yeah.
It's getting its power from the module. The drums are patented anti-hotspot design, which means they've got multiple sensor points under the heads, so you don't get the crazy hot triggering you get in the middle of some drum pads. They are dual zone, of course. And you get rim clicks, and you can get rim shots.
Powerful.
And you've got an 8-inch mesh bass drum pad as well, so you can get a double pedal on there. So that's what you're getting with the Strata kit. So this is the smallest one, of course, but the sound is absolutely unbelievable. Let's have a quick listen to some of the kits. I've got Cali Maple 2 set up here. Now, many of the BFD sounds in here are very raw, which means you can use your own processing, or you can apply the amazing effects that are in the module with parametric EQ and effects in there, or you can just use the raw sounds and then treat them in your DAW. But this particular kit, this particular patch on here, Cali Maple, has already got quite a lot of processing done. So this, just to give you an idea of the sort of sound you get here.
Just before you do, it's all internal processing as well. So we've discussed this in other videos. One of the really brilliant things that the Strata module has brought is the fact that it's got so much processing power in there within, you know, your built-in. So each one, it's not just a sample, it's a mic channel.
Yeah.
So you can add multiple different effects to that individual. So if you want to add a certain compressor sound and maybe a flanger sound or something to your snare, you can do that.
Top and bottom usually.
Yeah, top and bottom.
Separate mic channels.
Yeah, so, you know, it's such a versatile module that's incredibly powerful.
It sure is. Let's have a listen. So this is quite a processed one, this one. As I said, many of them are quite raw, but this one, which is just fantastic. You could drop this straight into a mix and it would sound amazing. So those are lovely sounds.
Yeah. And you're laying into this, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm not holding back. Yeah,
there's no holding back, and as you can kind of see, there was no movement in the rack.
No, the rack's solid.
Well.
It's small,
you know,
but it's rock solid.
That's exactly it.
Much like me. Exactly. Well, it's the same rack. It's the same 1.5-inch steel tubing we use on all the Strata racks.
Yeah.
So there's no compromises apart from you're getting a smaller kit at a more accessible price point. That's it, really.
Yeah.
And then talking about some of the other kits. There's just to give you an idea of the contrast. Let's find, there we go, this is a good one. So that last kit we listened to was a more processed one. This is a much more raw, organic one. And you've got super sensitive pads here as well. So. What were we playing before? We were going.
Very on trend.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely.
So time of filming, very on trend.
Very, very much so. So that's called Copper Kit 1. So we've got some basically copper style drums that have been sampled here. And this is one of the more organic kits. But you've got 370 kit pieces to choose from and 75 kits. You can make as many of your own kits on the module as you like. This is a very flexible and open system. You're not limited. You can save multiple drum kits, multiple playlists. You can set up groups. You can even import your own sounds. There's a very powerful stacking feature in the module where you can stack 4 sounds together. And that you can include any sounds you bring in yourself as well. So you can stack your own samples with the built-in samples, as many as 4 layers, and those layers can all come at once, or you can have certain sounds blending in as you hit the drum harder and harder. So the stacking feature in particular is very powerful, and that's how you'd swap sounds out as well. So if you want to swap a splash cymbal instead of the bell sound of this particular crash, you can do that. If you want to put a tambourine or a cowbell on the rim, you can do that as well, no problem.
Yeah, and I think, you know, another thing about the Strata kind of series and the ethos of this is that this is only using just a minor fraction of the potential of the module. I mean, Jamie and I were talking about this before. The potential to come with updates in the future, the way that it can connect, you know, connect it via Bluetooth, connect it via Wi-Fi, if you can drop things from the cloud directly into it, you know, there's no reason that you can't, well, there is a reason now, it's not out yet, but hopefully one day there will be no reason for you to actually need to do anything else other than just use the module. You know, the power that is available is brilliant. And I think, you know, the potential for Strata, this is designed to be a long-term Alesis flagship. And that means the technology that they develop will be in this as soon as it can be. And that is what you're getting. You're getting a longevity, you're getting something that is really regularly updated, you're getting something that is really, really cared for and will continue to try and be the flagship in electronic drums.
Yes, absolutely. We offer firmware updates over Wi-Fi, or you can do it over USB. So this is we're always going to be working on ways to improve workflow and squash any bugs we might find. And so that's a part of the ethos. You buy a kit like this, it's constantly evolving, it's constantly improving.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a brilliant way to end it. You know, if you want to hear more sounds, obviously that we'll interject a couple of different playing bits throughout, but the benefit, if you listen to any of our other Strata videos, guess what? The same sounds will be in that module as you're hearing in a Prime, as you're hearing in a Core. So we've got a wealth of different sound checks and also videos on the Alesis Prime series. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us back up north in York.
Thanks,
and hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
But for now, thank you so much for watching. Remember, like, subscribe. Got any comments, anything that you want to know about the Alesis Strata series at all, go to the Gear4music website or comment them down below and we'll check them out. We'll reply to you. And once again, thank you so much for watching. Take care.